let's think about what we want to plant. Do we want to buy from a food plot seed manufacturer, or do we want to buy from our feed mill or our lawn and garden store or farm and garden store? Do we want to buy through them, either clover, oats, alfalfa, whatever? On the topic of what do we pick, if you buy from your lawn and garden or your farm and garden shops, they're going to be cheaper, right? But your food plot companies research for deer, okay? So they engineer their food plots and mix and match their food plots to be based on what deer like through their research. So you can go to your feed mill and you can pick up Ladonna clover, which is an excellent clover. Clover is an excellent option. Not just only does deer benefit, you got rabbits, you got turkey, and deer. So clover is an excellent option. It's high in protein and it's edible throughout the majority of the year. Ladonna clover also can handle more acidic soils than other clovers can. So if you choose not to lime and your soil may be on the more acidic end, Ladonna clover might be an option for that because it can handle that type of soil. All right, let's talk about how to select what to plant. A lot of it comes down to what type of equipment do you have. And if you're on a budget, odds are you don't really have that much equipment. So what I suggest is choosing a seed that doesn't need to be drilled into the ground, such as your grass seeds, your ryegrass, your wheat, oats, clover. There's a lot of even food plot companies that make the throw and go type of, the no plow planting type of food plots for this reason. Some people don't have that equipment, and that's fine. You still can get optimal food plot areas with these no-till or no-plow throw and grow types of food plots. Another option you have through your feed mill or your farm and garden shop are feed oats. All right, this is a 50-pound bag. I got it for $9. Now, with feed oats, they're not geared for germination, such as if you buy Bob oats and cast them out. Feed oats are meant for feed, all right? They're not kept to the same standard as seeds that are meant for germination. But still, I started planting these a couple years ago when we were feeding our horses, and I seen shoots starting coming up from where they were spilling their grain on the ground. So I started planting them, and deer they were tearing them up. They loved the young shoots coming up. Once they got so tall, they stopped hitting them up. I've personally never seen feed oats that I planted go to grain, but I keep mowing them down, so them young shoots keep popping up, and deer will hit that oat food plot throughout the season. So that's what I do with my oats. That's an option. All right, this is something you can pick up from a store. It's Evolved Harvest Throw and Grow Food Plot. It's got ryegrass, it's got clover, and it's got brassica in it. These are made for the no-till, for the no-plow type of planting. So what we're going to be doing, it'll fit exactly where we need to. This comes up really well. I planted a patch of this in the spring, and so did a hunting buddy of mine, and the deer devoured it, okay? One thing, this is a quarter acre bag. One thing when you run to small food plots, if you got a lot of deer in the area, you run the risk of overbrowsing. So I like to plant a minimum of a half-acre food plot. This costs $9 from Walmart. I've seen it anywhere from $9 to $20. This wasn't on sale at Walmart. It was just $9. So $20. Now I have a half-acre food plot of 3 different types of seed. So this might be your best option if you don't have access to a feed mill or a farm and garden shop. So these work just fine. This we're going to be throwing out today, along with a mix of some other perennial clovers and some oats. So we're going to be casting this out. All right, the next thing you do, if you don't have any heavy equipment, get yourself a stout rake. All right, not just a yard rake or anything like that, because you're going to be ripping through vines, maybe tossing over a bunch of sticks. So you need something stout, and you got to rake away and get to the bare dirt. That's what I'm going to do now. And then rake all your excess off to the side of your food plot. Your seeds need to come into direct contact with the ground. Now you can prep your seed bed weeks in advance. You want to wait to plant till right before rain, because especially when you're throwing you're casting out seeds that you're not drilling into the ground, the rain will help pound them into the ground to the level they need to be in. And obviously they need water to germinate, but the rain will help you out by pounding them back into the ground for you. All right, I cut away the undergrowth, raked away all the dead stuff. I got a pretty good exposed seed bed. Yeah, there's some little spindles sticking up. I'm not worried about that. As long as my seed comes in contact with the ground, it's good enough for me. We're going to cast our seed. You can use a seed spreader if you want to, but that's just another thing you have to buy if you don't. You can also use your hands like I'm going to do here. And just kind of get it even all around. Then what we're going to do after we get this casted out there, we're going to use our rake again and lightly rake over the top of it and kind of get it set into the ground. What I'm doing with the rake now is I'm turning it over so the flat side's hitting the ground. Now I'm just ensuring that all the seeds I just casted out are getting good contact with the dirt. Alright, there you go. I got this section all planted. It kind of wraps around over here too. But with minimal equipment, I had to use a weed eater to get through all these pokeberries to get me this little patch right here. But if I had this in the woods, let's say a tree went down, opened up a section where undergrowth started growing again, now I know all I have to do is clean that up and I can plant a food plot there. You know, you take an axe and a rake and you can rake away all them leaves, expose that dirt, and that's the perfect spot for a food plot. So even though you may be on a budget, you still feel a need for a food plot, I just showed you some cheaper options for you to put a food plot in the ground. All right, just got off work, wanted to check this food plot. This is a food plot behind me that I raked and seeded on the video. It's been about 3.5, maybe 4 weeks. We haven't had a lot of rain, but this is a nice open area, collects a lot of the dew that hits the ground, it just soaks it up. It's doing pretty good. Now I'm excited to hunt over this upcoming season. Got my stand about 45 yards away. The food plot wraps around to it from about 15 yards away from my stand. But I set a trail camera up, got a lot of nice pictures, a lot of daytime pictures using this food plot. Even though there's a road right over there 150 yards away, I know you can hear it, but they funnel in from behind me. And one of the reasons I think it's an excellent daytime spot is because it's sheltered and they feel safe coming in here. There's not a lot of human traffic going through here or whatever. This is an excellent spot. All right, in this video I showed you methods of how to put a food plot out without expensive equipment and without spending a lot of money. So if it's in your budget and you choose to put out a food plot, by all means do so. It can help you during the season, and it can also help your deer herd throughout the late fall and the winter times when the food starts getting scarce. And hopefully you can harvest deer off of it and put some meat in the freezer. Hope you guys liked the video. Catch you in a bit.